Hello, ladies. I've already started my eyebrows because I have the same um, routine. It very seldom changes. So I'm just finishing it up now. And ladies, you do not have to do this. I just like precise eyebrows. So this is me just cleaning it up right now. And I'm using my normal um, concealer. I will say that if you're going to use concealer to clean up your eyebrows, use one that's pretty close to your skin color so you don't have a halo effect over the top of your eyes, which is really bright. And we're just going to go ahead and blend it out some. And again, they don't have to be the exact same. And I think this is going to work for me. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my primer on. And tonight I'm using the e.l.f. Um, Mineralized Infusion. And this is just for normal skin. Hey, Miss Kathy. And again, around my nose area, since I'm always oily, I'm going to put a little bit of Milk Mac there. And it does dry kind of flaky. But I'm okay with that. Let me go ahead and prime my eyes. And I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And now I am using my eyeshadow base. I'm just going to use my fingers. And then take my blending brush, which is this fluffy one, and just blend it out some. We're going to go in with this color, and it is called Oktoberfest as our transition color tonight. I'm going to use that same fluffy blending brush and go in just above my crease. And tonight I'm not going to use too much because I don't really want this area to have a lot of brown to it. And since I'm going to do a sharp eye, this is a holiday look, so I like to have a really pointed cat eye. So I'm going to use the tape tonight so I can get it real on point. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm using the tape. I always put the tape on my skin and pull it off, simply because it doesn't hurt when you pull it off of your face after it's already been kind of used. How are you, Sister Viola? Hi, Stephanie. So now we're going to go in with the first color, and I think I'm going to start with this blue here. Got 1,000 palettes here. Okay, we're going to start with this first color here. It looks black, but it's actually like a real dark blue, and it's in the Juvia's palette, and this is the Magic palette. I'm going to use a crease brush and start with just a little bit here. And this is really, really pigmented. So if you're doing a dark color and it's that pigmented, you really want to start with just a little bit. And now I'm just going to blend it out some. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit lighter now. Because it was so dark, it kind of looks black. And we're doing the same thing here. Now I'm going to go back with my transition color and just go right back over this to blend the blue out some more on both sides. And this is to tone it down some. You can always go back and add more if you feel like you've taken too much of the color off. Now I'm going to go in with this flat brush, which is just a really flat brush to put my next color of eyeshadow on, which is going to be a gray color. Um, it's called Gunmetal, and it's in the original Naked palette. I'm going to put it right here next to my blue. And if you notice, I am connecting them by also putting a little bit of the gray on top of the blue. I have been asked why I pat, and the reason I pat is because I want the eyeshadow to stay in that place. I don't want it to move, so when you pat, it stays. When you brush, it moves. So now I want to blend it out so they look like they kind of float into each other. So I'm using my blending brush again. They almost look like one color. So now I'm going to go back in with this really small brush because I want my crease to go around, but this blue is so dark, I don't want it to be that bold. So I'm taking the tiniest brush that I have to go into my crease. And I do have a hooded eyelid, so I always go just a little bit higher. And we're going to do the same thing. Now we're going to take that same brush and blend out. And right now, I know it looks dark, but we're going to fix that. And you're just going to go in what's called the windshield wiper motion and continue just to blend out until you get it to your desired color. Okay, now it looks kind of like I got a black eye. So what I'm going to do is correct that. We're going to take the fluffy brush that we used our transition color with and just go back in with a little bit of the transition color and blend out. Hey, Deborah. Nope, I'm not baking. I'm blending, Selmy. Okay. That took quite a bit of that color off. And I'm going back just in that corner. Okay, now we're going to go into our inner crease. Tell Raya I said hi. And now we're going to start in with our lightest color. But before I do that, you notice where this area is here. Before I put on a color base, now I'm going to switch colors. I like to use a cream eyeshadow and then go back onto it with the powder. Since I like to use really light colors, I usually always go back in with a cream eyeshadow that's the same color of the powder that I'm going to use. So right now, I'm just going to cut my crease. This is just a blue and silver holiday look. What I'm doing around my eye with the cream is generally called a cut crease. Most people use a cut crease with a concealer. I myself don't use a concealer that often. My preference is to use a cream eyeshadow. So now I'm going to go in with, yep, this silver here. And it's a metallic, so it kind of has flakes in it. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on top of that cream shadow. And again, I'm using a patting motion because I don't want it to move. Hi, Cynthia. Happy birthday. If you use a cream base and then put the powder shadow on top of it, you see how much of a difference that is? And this will keep it there. It's not going anywhere. Gabby, you have access to me all day. I'm not really feeling that darker uh, gray, so I'm going to cover that up. Okay, now it's time for me to go back in with some of this blue. And I have a different blue that I'm going to try, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit different. But I'm also going to take my fluffy brush again and blend us together so they can look like they flow. And I'm going to do that on this side as well. Well, you know where I'll be. I'll be at home if you need help. But I don't think you need my help, though. Thank you. This would be a real simple look to use if you're going to a holiday party. Um, you could always substitute the darker color for green or black or purple or any other color. Metallics go great with just about anything. You just want to make sure you blend really well, especially where the two colors meet. Okay, now I'm going to go up to my brow bone. For me, I don't have a preference. I don't do the seasons. I'm just more pretty much, I wear what I'm in the mood for. Just like they say you're not supposed to wear like bright colors in the winter. I like bright colors, so I wear them all the time. Breezy, which one? Which color are you? Which eyeshadow? Because I think I have two different companies on. The metallic one, um, this one, it is by Nika K. It's called the Radiant Metallic Palette. I think it was like $1.50 at the beauty supply store. And that's what I said. You don't have to spend a lot of money on makeup. Get what works for you. There are a lot of good brands out here that aren't expensive and they work just as well. The biggest thing with makeup is prepping your face. If you prep your face correctly, you can put on Dollar Tree makeup and make it work. Oh, and with that being said, these are some awesome brushes, and they're by e.l.f. Now, on e.l.f. and Walmart, they run about $6. But for you ladies in Oklahoma City, I got these at the Dollar Tree on May and Britain. For $1, I stocked up on them. So I'm sure they have some more. Also, these are Wet n Wild brushes. These are really good brushes. They retail for about $8 or $7 at Walgreens. These are $1 at the local Dollar Tree. So if you ladies run across these, grab them because they are really good brushes. Okay, with this look, you can finish it right here, or you can go ahead and put your eyeliners on. So I'm going to do a bottom and a top. And ladies, I know last week when I bought this is the Scandal Eyes waterproof eyeliner. I told you I had just found and I was going to try it out. This works awesome. It does last 24 hours. Yes, I only grabbed a few of them because I knew I was going to say something tonight, but be glad I like y'all because I would have grabbed them all. They do have a couple of other types of brushes that are by e.l.f., but I already had quite a few of them, so I left them. But this right here is an awesome brush for face powder. It's also good for foundation because it's firm. The false bottom lashes, they go on just like the top ones. So you just prep the same way. Make sure that your waterline is dry. Some people don't realize it, but around this area in the eyes is pretty oily. Put a little bit of primer around the bottom of your eyes, and make sure it's dry before you put your lashes on. You've already put primer on the top. You can put it up under the bottom as well. Then that way it'll be easier for your lashes to stay. I am actually going to take a little bit of this silver and go up under here too. So now I'm going to go in with my liquid liner. And remember, I have the tape here, so just move in the direction of the tape. And that'll give you the perfect cat eye. Ladies, Deborah, you said something about you need to work more on your blending. You need to get a good blending brush. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good blending brush. But if you have a good blending eyeshadow brush, you can use it for all the colors. I'm just a little OCD. I don't like to mix my brushes. But if that's all you have and you have that one blending brush, you'll get the same effect. I would invest in some good brushes. Um, BH Cosmetics has some good brush sets on sale right now for $10. Okay, so now I got that. And then we'll go back in and put some mascara on. Ooh, my eyes are really red. Y'all, contacts and allergies do not like each other. Cindy, this one is a fluffy blending brush. This one is a blending brush. It's just not a fluffy one. I use this one when I'm going like in my creases up here because it's got a smaller tip. And then I use this one back here or on this area. Um, this one is a really good one. This is Miss Manga by L'Oreal. They have several different types. This one is a waterproof and it's for volumizing your eyelashes. For us ladies that don't have a lot of eyelashes, this works fine. If you don't want to wear falsies, this works. It makes you look like you have eyelashes. Most of the times when you see my pictures or I do makeup, that's all I have on. 90% of the time I don't have falsies on. And again, it is waterproof. So if you're a crybaby like I am, it'll stay. So now I'm going to remove my tape. And I got the cat eye there. So now we're going to go in and color correct. You can use whatever brand you want. This is just my favorite. And I think I've told you why. Because it's small and it's not this bright. I don't know why it's picking up this bright. And I'm going to use Beauty Blender to blend this out. I will say to anybody that's going to use the LA colors, you have to move pretty quick because it dries real quick. So if you're just starting out and this is the first time that you're using it and you're not quite sure you can move that quick, I would suggest doing one area at a time and not placing it on your whole face. Because once it sits, it does not move. Got that blended out. So now I'm going to go in. I think I'm going to use the LA Girls Pro Coverage. I've used this for about 4 or 5 times now. And this is actually a really good foundation. The only downfall is it's not made for people who have oily skin. And I am real oily around this area. So if you're going to use it and you have oily skin, make sure you use a good primer. And it's really not full coverage. I'll be going in with another layer after this. But remember, if you're patting it in, you see better results with patting your liquid foundation in versus smoothing it or sweeping it. If you can see what the sweeping does, you can still see my imperfections, but when I blot it in, I get better coverage. And it works pretty good. That was just 1/2 pump. So I'm going to do another pump to finish my face. And always make sure to get your neck. You always want it to match. Around my eyes, because I don't want to mess up my makeup, I'm going to use this sponge. Simply because it has the little point there. Deborah, stay with the black opal. I try out lots of different makeup. A lot of the times I try it out because people ask me about it, and I can't give you a fair answer if I haven't tried it. But black opal works really good for you. And also, this goes on a lot lighter than what it actually is. Once it oxidizes and with the air, it gets a little darker. So if you're testing it out and you're at the store and it looks really light, give it a few minutes so that it can change. Because if you're looking, it's changing this part around here is already changed on my skin. So once it oxidizes, it will change. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Thelma. Okay. We got that taken care of. This one that I used is the LA Girl coverage, and you can get this. It's like $8 at the local beauty supply store. I think CVS also sells it too, and they come in a lot of different colors. That is a plus for brown girls, because not a lot of companies make brown girl friendly makeup that's actually good. So now I'm going to go ahead and highlight. And I'm going to use my LA Girls Pro Concealer. And this one is called Cool Tan. Hey, Lynn. We miss you too, Thelma. I'm going to answer another question that I was asked. Why I go down. One, you don't want to sweep this away a lot. That's a tender area of your face. You want to be as delicate as you can in this area and go down versus all the way up, because it pulls, your skin is real elastic right here, and you don't want to pull on it. So you take it down and then out. If you don't have a sponge, your finger is the next best thing, and use your ring finger. And no, Kathy, I cannot start over. I think people would be mad if I did. And you see where I messed up my eyeliner? That's an easy fix. You just go back in. In these areas, the typical areas for highlighting are up under the eyes and down the bridge of the nose. A lot of people don't like this area. It's okay that you don't. You don't have to put highlight everywhere. Those are just the points where I know if I'm taking pictures, that's where the light is going to hit. And I'm going to go back in and contour because I want to make my face look thinner. Using my favorite bronzer for my contour. Again, ladies, this is by e.l.f. I'm using the colors Turks and Caicos. It runs about $6. I prefer a powder contour versus a cream. A lot of people prefer the cream. The cream is hard for me to blend out. I don't want to do that much blending. And I say this every time I do this, contours should not be any more than 2 colors darker than your skin color. Unless you want to look like you have dirt on your face. Also, the areas that I contour on my face may not be the areas for you. You should find your face shape and go by that. If you have an oval shaped face, that is actually the perfect, in the beauty world, that is the perfect shape. You actually wouldn't need a contour. If you did do a contour, just a slight contour across here. Otherwise, if you start doing too much, you start to look a little manly. The reason I'm going here with my nose is to thin my nose out. A contour is actually a trick to make your face look thin. And now I'm going to blend. And you blend outwards always. You want to make it goes towards your hairline. When you push your makeup towards your hairline, it looks like it's actually your skin. And this goes even if you're using a cream or liquid. And you just blend and blend until you don't see any harsh lines. And again, if you are a beginner, I would go light on the contour and kind of build it up so that you won't have real harsh lines. Around my nose, I'm going to take a thin brush. This is actually an eyeshadow brush, but we're going to use it for my nose to blend. Now, I did this out of order just to show you that you don't really have to do any particular order. But now we are setting our highlight. Every place you put that lighter color, go in and put a setting powder. A setting powder is essential to keep your makeup in place. I'm not going to bake. I'm just going to let it sit long enough for me to put my face powder on. Setting powder, that's the color of your skin, is a must if you're wearing foundation. Every place that I don't have the lighter setting powder, we're going to go in and put this powder. We're locking in our foundation. This will help your foundation, sorry. This will help your foundation stay in place all day. And go in patting motions. Okay, now can you hear me now, Selmy? Okay, now that I've put my setting powder in, I'm just going to go and take the same brush and knock the rest of that powder off. You can see the same effect. There's just no flashback when you take a picture. Can anybody else hear me? Check your phone and see if it's on mute. And Cindy, baking is when you take the lighter powder. A lot of people use the yellow powder, Sacha Buttercups or Ben Nye, and you put it in the areas and you let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then you sweep it off. You see how light it is right there? Well, if you baked, it would be a lot lighter than that. The problem is when you let it bake too much, when you take pictures, you can't see it here, but when you take pictures, you see all this white area on your face. It's not flattering on pictures. Yet Ben Nye is the banana powder. I don't like banana powder because it gives you terrible flashback because people bake with it. It's Ben Nye is a theater company, and the makeup was made for people on stage. They are under lights, but they're not taking pictures. That's why it flashes back. I do use Ben Nye. What I just put on is Ben Nye, but it's called Neutral Set, and it only comes in white. So that's why I don't bake with it. The other one, if you want to use a setting powder, I suggest Sacha Buttercups. It's wonderful because it does not give you any flashback. But if you use too much of it, you will be a little yellow up under here. And no, Caitlin, I'm not getting up early to do makeup. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I did not take out a blush. We've got our face done. Now I'm going to go in with this color right here. And it's called Neo. And it's by Juvia's Place. For ladies that don't know how to do your blush, go with the cheeks right here. This is called the apple of your cheeks. Smile. And go up. And that's it. If you're not a big blush person, just take your brush and blend out. If you still feel like you have too much on, you can always take your powder brush and go back in and blend it out a little bit. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of this highlighting on here. This is one of my favorites. This is just a highlight trio by City Color Cosmetics. And I think it runs for about $14. In all the areas that I'm putting it in, these are the areas that if you're taking a picture, that's where the flash is going to go directly. Kathy, Sacha Buttercups is made for brown skin, so I would suggest that one. If for up under here, up under your eyes, if you want one that's skin tone color, I actually love Studio Pro by BH Cosmetics. This is the equivalent in my book to MAC. I have a MAC one, same color. I paid almost $30 for it. This was $5.50, and I reached for this one all the time. Thank you, Taylor. Love you. You don't have to use this fan brush. I like it to go across here because it's just one strip. You can use a brush like this. You can use your fingers. This is another brush that you can just go across here. It's the same difference. A lot of people just go across with their fingers. Now that I have all my face done, now it's time for my lip color. And since my eyes are a little dramatic, I'm going to do a nude color. I always line my lips. It is not necessary. I line my lips because when you put lipstick on, you notice if you eat and drink, a lot of the times your lipstick is gone. What a lip liner does is protect your lips, your lipstick from running down. It gives it a little bit more staying power. I line my lips because they're thin, so they give me the effect that I have bigger lips. The lip liner that I used is one of my favorite browns. It's called True Brown. It's by Kylie Jenner. And the lipstick that I'm going to use is by MAC, and it's called Hug Me. And again, it's a pretty nude color. A lot of brushes, Heather, have their names on them and tell you what they're for. Like this brush here is by e.l.f. and it says it's the ultimate blending brush, which you can blend your face with. I use it for several things. There's really not one specific thing that you have to use your brushes for. The only thing that I always say is this blending brush here. This blending brush is your friend. It says blending brush, and that is what it's for your eyes. Any of the other brushes, they're multi-use. You can use them from what you want. But if you come to my class, shameless plug, I will teach you. Okay, this one is called BH Cosmetics Studio Pro. This is a pressed powder, which is also a setting powder. This is comparable to MAC, in my opinion. The only place I've been able to purchase this is at bhcosmetics.com. I do know during the Christmas times, Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and stores like that, they tend to have some of those products out. So if you go, starting probably about now, look in some of those areas and those stores, you can find good makeup. The lipstick Thelma is called Hug Me. And you want to blend it out some so it just doesn't look like the line. You can see that I have lip liner on, but you just don't want to see that harsh line. So you just kind of blend it out. And this is my look for tonight. I am going to seal my look with the NYX Matte Finish. And just a few sprays of this will lock your makeup in for the whole day. So, are there any questions, ladies? Oh, I can't finish yet. I'm glad I looked in my eyes. I messed up my eyeshadow and my eyeliner. And then I need to put some mascara on the bottom. See, the highlighter that I used is called Highlight Trio. I hope that light's not blinding you. And it's by City Color Cosmetics. City Color is another company that is internet based. They have a lot of really good makeup, but people sit on them because they're cheap. They work. I love them. Thank you, Kathy. Anything else, ladies? Well, I am finished for tonight. I will, y'all know the routine. Let me put my wig on and I'll take a picture and post. And as always, thank you guys. Thank you for the support. Please like and share. I really would appreciate it. And good night. Thank you.